Hey everyone. Yeah, I guess I kind of wanted to give my thoughts on the whole Sega situation. Apparently, as been reported by Matt of Tales Channel and Review Tech USA and numerous others, it seems that Sega is downsizing. Sega of America is downsizing a lot of their staff. Now, apparently, it sounds more like it's a layoff deal. Like, these people might be able to come back in the future. But right now, from what it sounds like, it's not really good for Sega, especially with news going around that some people, like at Sega of Japan, are mistreating the employees of Sega of America. Kind of like racially or just not physically, but mostly racially, talking down to them like they're nothing, and everything. And then to top that all off, you have them moving the offices out of San Francisco down to Southern California, most likely either Anaheim or Los Angeles. And and then on top of that, you get the word that they're now mostly going to focus on PC and mobile games. Uh, my thoughts on this, and apparently Sega of Europe is not totally going to be affected by it as far as we know, and if they are, we'll find out more later. Uh, but my thoughts on it are, it sounds like something happened, and just my opinion, but it sounds like something happened that caused Sega of Japan to do this. Some will say it was probably financial profit and all that, and that's one of the reasons they're doing this. According to one report, according to Review Tech USA, all this basically, the downsizing and then mostly focusing on the PC and mobile game market is to up a profit or try to get things more manageable and more profitable. And again, I think there's more to it than what's being reported. I think something happened that Sega of Japan did not like. I'm not defending Sega of Japan and the way they mistreated people, kind of talking down to them and all that. I'm not supporting that. In fact, I think that's kind of pathetic on their part because you know what, Sega of Japan, they wouldn't have a foothold here in the Western portion of the world if it wasn't for Sega of America and Sega of Europe. They wouldn't have that foothold. They wouldn't have the popularity that the most iconic icon character, the iconic mascot, who I actually, believe it or not, you take a look around my room, over there, over there, up there, over here, and up there, you know, heck, even take a look at some of the games. I mean, look down there. There's Rush Adventure. There's Rush. I have several of the. I have all three advanced games. I have Sonic Battle. Over here, I don't think you can see it real closely unless we zoom in. But even that, but as a lot of you that have followed my channel, I pretty much have just about every Sonic animated series and anime that there is. Just about. I mean, I even have the freaking Triple Threat soundtrack to Sonic Heroes, which includes some songs from the Sonic Adventure series. I have Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 on Game Boy. I downloaded Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 on the Xbox Live. I bought Sonic Generations. I bought Sonic Riders. And and this is just me supporting Sega because of it, through this. And for them to, like I say, talk down and mistreat the Sega of America colleagues like they're nothing and cause this downsize, which in my opinion is probably mostly their idea. The head honchos over Sega Japan, it's their idea for this downsizing. That to me, they wouldn't have a foothold here in the States or here in the Western Hemisphere if it wasn't for SOA or SOE. And they know that. And this is why I think, in just my personal opinion, something happened that we're not being told of. Something occurred that has caused a rift between SOJ, SOA, and possibly is going to affect SOE in some way down the line. But there was something that happened. Now, I don't know if it had anything to do with Sonic Boom, because Japan was even advertising it. You know, apparently it came from them, but I don't know if it had to do something with something happening on that end, or something happening there. I don't know. All I know is Sega of Japan needs to cool their jets and realize that they wouldn't have a foothold in the Western Hemispheres if it wasn't for Sega of America and Sega of Europe. Now, as far as this whole downsizing and focusing more along the lines of PC and mobile gaming, like some people pointed out, Sega is no stranger to PC gaming. Mobile gaming, they're just getting into. In fact, one of the games I have on this very Kindle is Sonic Dash. And it's a fun game. It is a fun game, I'm not denying that. But for them to downsize with, and I'm praying and hoping this happens, with the possibility that some of these people will be able to come back to work down the line, with them doing this, because mostly I think Sega of Japan had an influence in this, a huge influence. And again, we're not probably going to get all the details. I just got a feeling there's more to this whole situation than what is being reported and what we're being told. And to me, I think this whole focusing on PC mobile thing, at first I think it'll be okay, but I think they got to realize this. They have a deal in with Nintendo. They have to remember that. I think that's one thing that throughout all this, I think we're forgetting. They have a deal with Nintendo to do some Sonic exclusive titles, some Sega exclusive titles for the Wii U. Now, will this affect the PS4, Xbox One Sonic title that's being rumored to be in the works for this year? Maybe not. Maybe not if that's coming out of Japan. But point is, if after this year or later on as we get going throughout all of 2015, if later on this year, towards the middle and maybe the end of this year, they start focusing more on the PC and mobile gaming market, I've got a feeling that it'll be okay at first. It'll be alright at first. But I think in the end it's going to backfire on them. I really do. I hate to say that. I just feel it's going to backfire on them in the end. Because, yeah, mobile gaming is great and everything. Don't get me wrong. PC gaming is great. Don't get me wrong about that. But still, here's the problem. Not a lot of people want to play games on the PC or the mobile devices. They don't. As much as I like to play Sonic Dash, and in fact, I was playing Sonic Dash on my way to my sister's in Modesto on Sunday just to keep myself busy because I had no Wi-Fi connection, no internet connection. I was playing a little bit of Sonic Dash and I had fun with it. I really did. But again, to me, I just think that in the long run, it's going to backfire in the face. Again, like I said, I'm not doubting it's not going to start out positively for them. I'm not doubting it's not going to turn a profit for them, maybe just a bit. But in the end, as if they continue focusing mostly on PC and mobile, it's going to backfire on them. And sooner or later, they're going to end up in a similar position that THQ did, and several other video game publishers did. They're going to end up in a situation where they're going to have to file for bankruptcy. They're going to have to file for bankruptcy, and they're going to probably have to sell off a lot of the major titles and characters. And I'll tell you this: if that is to happen, checking my time there, but I'll tell you this: if Okay, I got about 5 minutes. If that is to happen, if that happens, if this venture into mostly doing PC and mobile gaming backfires in the face, which I believe it's going to in the long run. I mean, like I said, I don't think it's, I don't doubt it's not going to turn some kind of a profit on the first venture or anything, because it will. But in the end, I believe it's going to backfire in the face, and because of that, they're going to end up filing for bankruptcy, and they're going to have to do what THQ did and several other video game publishers have done, and that's sell off a lot of their titles and franchises, put them up for auction. And don't tell me for one moment that Nintendo won't see that and say, okay, we've been associating with the Sonic franchise, we'll take Sonic and make it part of the Nintendo franchise. They'll do that. They will do that. I mean, I'm pretty sure Nintendo will keep it its own entity like they do Zelda and just have them cross over for some of those crossover all-star games and Olympic games, and that's about it. But I think they'll do with Sonic what they're doing with Zelda and Metroid and all that, and they will focus on their being their own little titles, their own little worlds, their own characters and all that. So I think if that happens, if that happens, and believe me, if Sega is determined to go in this direction, it's going to happen. I pray it doesn't. I pray they turn a huge profit. I pray that this venture down. I pray and hope that this venture into PC and mobile turns a huge profit for them and they can turn things around. I really do. But I believe in the end, it's just my opinion, it's going to backfire on them. And when it backfires, it's going to affect not only SOA, it's not only going to affect SOE, but in the long run, it's going to affect SOJ because it was their influence, it was their influence, their no brown nosing, if you will, or whatever, the snooping, their whatever you want to call it, the them basically putting their nose in business that really didn't belong, even though it was the same company but different continents. It's going to hurt them in the long run, and they're going to be the ones that are going to have to file for the bankruptcy because they didn't want to let Sega of America and eventually Sega of Europe do their own thing. I mean, yeah, you're both. I mean, yeah, you're all under the same banner, the Sega banner. Don't get me wrong about that. But the thing is, just because you're all under the same company banner doesn't mean you have to run things the same way. You can run things differently, and it's a success. Do you think every Walmart, like where I work at, runs similar in some way? Yeah, we do, but not all the time. Sometimes we find ways to do things differently, and it works for us. We find ways to make things work that might be different from another Walmart. The, the point is, Sega Sega has to prepare for the worst. Because if this backfires in their face, and I'm not saying it will, but it sounds like just, with what's going on and everything, that this is going to probably be what happens. They got to prepare for the worst, and they got to prepare for the file for bankruptcy because it's going to hurt them in the long run. It really is. It really is. Now, as far as the comic goes and everything, right now, as long as there's a Sega of America and all that, and I'm pretty sure Sega of Japan, I don't think the comic's going to be affected that much. I think there's a deal there that allows them to do the comic the way they want to do it, at Archie and all that. So I don't think the comic's going to be affected too much. I really don't. So, but like I said, I think what Sega has to do is prepare for the worst because I don't know. I'm hoping I hope this venture helps them, but I just get this feeling it's going to backfire on them in the long run, and it's going to hurt them financially, and they're going to have to file for bankruptcy. But that's just my opinion, and that's all I'm going to say on this whole situation with Sega. And again, I just think there's more to it that we're not being told and it's not being reported. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I will talk to you all later.